Now with safe squats, I have a lot of my patients that have knee issues and back issues, and if they do a regular squat, it hurts. So working with a bunch of really smart chiropractors and trainers and physical therapists, I came up with a very simple little squat exercise that is a good alternative if you get pain with a regular squat. And particularly if you're doing squats that are coming down, going down, coming up, going down, coming up, going down, coming up. Doing that repetitively, if that bothers your knees and your backs, you might want to try this. So the first thing I suggest is start with a chair. Start using a chair so you can get an idea of this position. Here's why. When we do a squat, we want to practice getting as far back as we can as if we're trying to sit down. Okay? So that's the first part of what I'm going to show you. So my feet are a little bit more than shoulder width apart, and as I come down, keeping a nice straight spine, not doing this activity, keeping a nice straight spine, I'm going to come down. Again, I'm protected now because I know the chair is behind me, and you can do something similar at home. I'm going to come down and really stick out my rear end as if I'm trying to sit in the chair. Okay? And you can practice that. You can actually fall into the chair to get an idea of how that feels. Now, when I come out of the chair, I'm going to be driving with my heels, not my toes, my heels, as if I'm coming back up from the squat. You follow? Excuse me. So I'm going to go back as far as I can, sitting down like this. If I didn't have the chair here, this would be my squat. But now I can practice and say, okay, right there is about as far back as I can go before I lose it and I have to sit back in the chair. That will give you a chance to practice that and really getting that rear end coming back like this. That is the key, sticking out the rear end. So a safe squat is going to focus more on rear end muscles and not be such a quad dominant type of exercise. You're still going to get the quads, of course, but it's going to do a couple things. It's going to protect your back. It's going to do three things: protect your back, really strengthen the rear end muscles, and then save the knees from the up and down activity of the regular squat stuff. Okay? So one more time, looking at this, feet are a little further than shoulder width apart. Spine is nice and tall and straight. Sticking the rear end out as far as I can, and the last key component is driving the power into the heels. If you can see my feet, I'm literally lifting my toes off the floor. That's how much pressure I'm putting on the heels. You'll feel the difference. If you put the pressure on your toes, and I'll show you the front view in a second. If you put the pressure on your toes, completely different sensation than if you're driving through the heels. And then I'm going to push through the heels on the way up. Follow? Looking from the front. Let's take a look from the front. This is what it's going to look like. Feet shoulder width apart. Spine nice and tall. As I come down, I'm putting the pressure in the heels. And again, my pressure is in the heels so much that I can lift my toes off the ground. Then you hold. Hold. It's called a squat and hold. If you're a beginner and you don't go down very far, that's fine. Maybe you hold it for 5 seconds. And when you push up slowly through the heels, through the heels, through the heels, push, 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 you're done. And then you come back down. Stick the rear end out, pressure on the heels, rear end out, spine nice and tall and straight. Hold, comfortable, hold. You don't have to go any further than this, by the way. That'll save pressure on your knees. Hold, hold, and then come up slowly. Drive through the heels, push through the heels, through the heels, through the heels, and then come back up. As you get stronger and better at this, you just simply hold it longer. Hold it longer, right? Maybe you do it for 20 seconds, maybe a minute, okay? And then when you come out of it, pushing and driving through the heels, through the heels, through the heels, through the heels, and then you come up and you're done. Maybe you do only 2 of these when you first start out, but it's going to be a lot better on your back and a lot better on your knees. Plus, you get to really focus on the form when you're just holding it, as opposed to when you're doing a regular squat and coming up and down. You're not really even thinking about necessarily the mechanics of it as much. But when you're only doing 1 or 2 or 3, you're really going to concentrate on power through the heels, really engaging the gluteal muscles, keeping that spine nice and straight. I'm really pulling my spine up straight here like we're in yoga, crown to the sky, right? I'm pulling that, holding, and then when I push, I'm pushing through the heels, and then you come up. That's going to hopefully save you back irritation, knee irritation, and certainly have somebody, if you're working with someone, a trainer, physical therapist, chiropractor, have them watch you do this, or somebody that's familiar with working out. So that's called a safe squat.